Catherina wiped away a tear, trying to steady her hands. It had been another long night in the ER, filled with the usual tragedies. Maybe a good night's rest is all I need, she thought, though the deep sadness that had been creeping up on her for months felt deeper than mere exhaustion. Catherina was a dedicated African-American nurse, the kind whose soft-spoken empathy could calm a raging patient. But lately she felt a different kind of burn, one that her reflection in the locker room mirror showed a weary face, dark circles etched under her eyes, contrasting sharply with the deep-rooted dreadlocks framing her head. "You're paying for everything, Catherina," the little voice in her head whispered. "He's not even looking for a job." When they moved in together, she believed they were building a future. She would cover the bills initially, she told herself, as Terence was job hunting. Months passed. Terence's interviews became vague, his job search increasingly lethargic. He was charismatic, sweet, always reminding her how much he appreciated her and how the wait would be worth it. She loved him. She believed in him. But the financial strain was beginning to wear her down. This particular Tuesday morning, she returned home to an empty house. Terence is probably out grabbing coffee or visiting a friend, she reasoned, ignoring the twinge of doubt. She found a note on the counter. "Going out for a bit. Back later. Love, T." Simple, brief, yet comforting in its familiarity. Determined to surprise him, she picked up the house, prepared a nice meal, and even started a savings jar, vacation fund, feeling a glint of hope. Hours rolled into late afternoon. Her phone rang. Not Terence. It was her neighbor, Miss Williams. "Catherina, dear, are you home? There's someone to see you at the door." "Miss Williams?" "Oh, yes, I'll be right out," Catherina replied, confused. At her doorstep stood a woman she didn't know. The stranger looked agitated, her eyes red, her shoulders slumped. "Excuse me, are you Catherina?" "Yes, I am." The woman choked back a sob. "My name is Sarah, and I know who you are, and I know about Terence." Sarah, a name Catherina hadn't heard before. A stranger standing on her doorstep, bearing terrible news. She invited Sarah inside, the woman's presence casting a heavy cloud in her living room. Over the next hour, Sarah poured out a painful truth. Terence, her Terence, had been in a relationship with Sarah for over a year. She lived in the city, and that was where he spent his days, not on job interviews, but with Sarah. The image came flooding back to Catherina. It was a photo she'd seen on Terence's social media. He'd claimed it was a random park where he went to think. In the picture, a lone black woman sits on a park bench, the setting sun painting the sky in deep orange. She wears a hoodie, her head down, a lost soul, a symbol of isolation and despair. Catherina now realized that person was Sarah. The caption had read, "My quiet place." Catherina had thought it was a statement of profound peace. In light of Sarah's revelation, "My quiet place" took on a menacing, cruel tone. Was Sarah's pain his quiet place? Sarah confirmed Catherina's deepest fear. "The picture. He took it of me months ago, when he told me he needed space. He said he loved me, but things were complicated, that he was trying to sort things out." Sarah continued through tears. "I didn't know he was living with you.
He always told me he was working on a big project. The deception was complete. Terence wasn't looking for a job. He wasn't building a future with her. He was leading a double life, financing it all through her hard-earned income. He used her money to maintain a facade of a devoted boyfriend, while the other woman, in her own way, bore the brunt of his duplicity. While Catherina processed the devastating betrayal in her suburban living room, the image revealed another scene, miles away, in a city park bathed in the same golden sunset. The atmosphere was different, celebratory, vibrant, filled with a diverse crowd enjoying an outdoor market. String lights, like fairy dust, adorned the trees. In the center of this bustling scene, Terence, wearing a grey blazer and a confident smile, was wrapped in an intimate embrace with a young black woman with a vibrant afro. This was the woman he loved. This was the future he was building. The image was joyful, but knowing the truth made it a mockery. Terence returned home later that evening, whistling a tune. He was stopped cold at the threshold of the living room, a place that now felt charged with tension. He saw Catherina on the couch, the vacation fund jar shattered on the floor, the remnants of his deceit scattered around. He saw the expression in her eyes, not anger, but a hollow, empty despair. The facade crumbled. Terence tried to stammer out an apology, but the image in the park, him and his afro-haired lover, was burned into her mind. That was the love he chose, a love built in the city, free from the burden of her bills. The man sitting before her was a ghost, a remnant of a person who never really existed.
Catherina didn't scream, didn't cry. She calmly walked to her bedroom, packed a suitcase, and left. She didn't have the strength to fight, to yell, to question why. The image of Sarah, the woman in the hoodie in the park, was her too now. The lone figure on a bench, isolated by a betrayal so deep, so profound, it robbed her of words. Months passed. Catherina eventually moved past the raw pain. Her focus shifted to healing, finding solace in her work, in the quiet embrace of her close-knit family. She kept the image from 6828.jpg on her phone, not as a source of pain, but as a reminder of the dual masks of love and betrayal. One evening, while running errands in the city, she bumped into Sarah. The interaction was polite, yet distant. Catherina learned that Terence had tried to reconcile with Sarah, but she had seen through his manipulation and had moved on. Sarah was starting fresh. She seemed lighter, happier. Walking away, Catherina looked at the image again. In a different city, at a different park, the same golden light illuminated the scene. In it, two black women, both wearing hoods, were laughing. They weren't broken. They weren't isolated. They were alive.